Melissa Griffin. I'm a columnist who writes about San Francisco city politics, and I'm also a member of the San Francisco League of Women Voters. I'm here today with the League and with SF Gov TV to discuss Proposition G, which voters will be faced with on this November's ballot. Proposition G would increase the sales tax rate in San Francisco by 0.5% for a total tax rate of 9%. This would only happen if the state does not increase the sales tax by either 1% before November 30th, 2011, or 0.75% before January 1st, 2016. The city would use half the funds from the tax increase to pay for public safety programs, and the other half for programs for children and seniors. The city would start collecting this additional local sales tax on April 1, 2012, and the tax would apply for 10 years. Prior to July 1, 2011, San Francisco had a sales tax rate of 9.5%. On July 1, 2011, this rate decreased by 1% when the state allowed a portion of its sales tax to expire. San Francisco currently has an 8.5% sales tax. San Francisco only gets a small fraction of this 8.5% sales tax. Currently, 7.25% goes to the state, with the city receiving about 1%. This measure requires a 2/3 approval by the voters. I'm here with Marjan Filhauer, spokeswoman for the Yes on G campaign. Ms. Filhauer, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Please tell us why you're in favor of Proposition G.
I'm supporting Proposition G because I believe San Francisco's low-income children, seniors, firefighters, and police officers are worth half a cent. The city will be facing a $400 million budget shortfall next fall, and Proposition G would help restore some of the funding that would devastatingly cut some of these programs. In particular, the San Francisco Unified School District will be facing $25 million in cuts. Proposition G would restore $30 million into the San Francisco Unified School District so that our children will have a better start in life and a greater chance of success in succeeding in high school and college.
You know, San Francisco already has one of the highest sales tax rates of any city in the state. Are you concerned at all that the passage of Proposition G will affect our tourism or otherwise adversely affect our economics?
I'm not concerned with that at all. Already, tourism accounts for 40% of the revenue that is infused into the city. With Proposition G, the half-cent increase will still be lower than the sales tax prior to July 1st of this year.
My understanding is that Proposition G, the half-cent sales tax, would be eliminated if the state raises the sales tax within the next 10 years. In light of that, how is it that the city is able to plan and budget and expect those half-cent sales tax revenues if Proposition G passes?
That's a good question. Proposition G is about local control. We are giving San Franciscans the opportunity to decide where their tax dollars go. This is in light of lack of leadership by politicians in Sacramento, and although we are optimistic, we're not counting on that type of leadership occurring anytime soon. If it does, we'd be hopeful that our Sacramento politicians will listen to the needs of San Franciscans and act accordingly when they enact the next sales tax.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Up next, we'll be talking about Proposition G with an opponent. I'm here with Howard Epstein, former chairman of the San Francisco Republican Party, who is an opponent of Proposition G. Mr. Epstein, thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Why should voters vote against Proposition G?
Well, in this day and age of high unemployment, high underemployment, coming up with a regressive sales tax is a very bad way to raise money. It hurts the people at the bottom end of the scale more than anybody else. And also, the San Francisco has more money if it was managed right to fund all city functions. Just to give you an idea, in 2000, the budget was $4.2 billion. The 2010-2011 budget is $6.83 billion. That's more than the budget of about 20 states. That's $11,000 for every resident. If they would manage their money right, they wouldn't have problems. If you look at the way City Hall is there's over 100 commissions, boards, advisory boards, and so on and so forth that overlap. They can combine a lot of them and save a lot of money that way.
In light of the fact that this tax has only been proposed because a state tax of 1% recently expired, how is it that you see any consequences for San Francisco's local economy as a result of increasing the sales tax just this 0.5%?
Well, it takes money away from the people who need it the most. If you're an upper middle class person, it won't harm you, but if you're in the lower end of it, it does harm you. And that's why we shouldn't pass it.
Proponents of Proposition G have argued that they have to raise this tax in order to offset the cuts that have come from the state level. If this tax is not passed, how would you propose that the city deal with the extraordinary budget cuts that have come from the state?
Well, the proponents, who are mostly public employees and employees of nonprofits who are city funded, would have you believe the sky is falling if they don't get this raise. The simple fact is, if they go back to zero-based budgeting, combine overlapping departments, and do good budgeting, good management, they have plenty of money to run the city.
Thank you very much, Mr. Epstein.
You're welcome.
We hope that was helpful. For information on Proposition G and other ballot measures, please visit the website of the San Francisco League of Women Voters at sfvotes.org. And remember, early voting is available at City Hall Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And if you don't vote early, be sure to vote on November 8th.